My name is Sabine Rech, and I'm the director of the Masters of Biotechnology program at San Jose State. And here I'm going to tell you a little bit about this master's program. So this is the first slide that we have, and you can see a little bit about San Jose State here. So this is the student union in San Jose State, and you see some of the students milling around. And of course, we have our palm trees and probably pretty good weather right now, unless it's raining at some time. All right, so let's talk a little bit about biotech first. So when you think about biotech, what is the first thing that comes to mind? Does anybody want to chime in? What's the first thing when you think about biotech?
Something related with biotechnology.
Yes. So what biotechnology means to you?
Mm,
There's a little bit of giveaway on the slides.
Pharmaceuticals, diagnosis, research.
Yes. Yeah. So a lot of times that's the first thing that comes to mind. Pharmaceuticals, that's companies that like Pfizer and Cepheid and everything else. Okay, let's see. I have one chat. Let me see if I open the chat. Yep. Technology or implementation of in terms of technology. So that's all right too. So here you see a few other things. So pharmaceuticals for sure, and then it also focuses on diagnostics. So a lot of times medical devices are part of biotechnology that are used for diagnosis. A lot of you like to do research. So there's a lot of research stuff going on too. Personalized medicine. What is an example of personalized medicine? Does anybody know?
No, I do not have that much idea about that.
Oh, it's okay, no problem. So basically, have you heard of CAR T?
Yes, yes, yes.
Yeah, so what you do is you take the cells from a patient, immune cells, and make and engineer them so they will attack cancer cells. So that's kind of personalized medicine because you have each patient has their own treatment. So it's not cheap, but that's just the way it goes. And then we also have medical innovation. And then some of the other things, one of them are biofuels. So biofuels have also been in the forefront, not so much right now, but a lot of people are looking into biofuels. There's testing and there's wholesale. So there's a lot of different parts of the Masters of Biotechnology. Now, let's see if I can do this. Okay, hold on. I think I got stuck. Sorry about that. There we go. So, now about the companies. So there's a lot of biotechnology companies in California. So what you can see is you have here on the left, California is the number one biotechnology, is number one in biotechnology industries. There are over 3,400 companies. So you can see here in 2015 out the employees and the growth in 2020. So you can see there's a 12.7% growth. And all the other states, a few of the other states have some of these companies too, but California has the most by far and has quite a bit of growth to go yet. So there's a lot of different companies here, and you can see there's every area of companies. So the couple of the largest ones are research, testing, and medical laboratories, bioscience distribution. There's not that many pharmaceutical and drug companies because a lot of them are very large, and so there's the major ones, but you don't have the large variety. Then we have medical device and agriculture companies. So there's a lot of variety here. So let's see. Here are the wages. So that's what my students always like to hear about. How much can I make? So here are the employees, and then here you can see some of the highest wages are in the counties in where we're at. So there's Alameda County, Santa Clara County, has San Jose State, San Mateo, and San Francisco. So these have really large wages, but these are not high wages, but these are not entry-level wages, right? So you have 322,000 are not what you're going to make in the beginning, but eventually you can get to that kind of a wage. So a lot of my students come back and say, do you want me to tell you what I make? And I'm like, no, I don't want to. No, because you make a lot more than me. So you have a lot of opportunity. Let's see. Then a little bit more about the employment. So there's three parts of the employment. So you have direct employment with all the employees in the biotech company. Then you have induced employment, which is working with the results of the biotech with manufacturers. And then you have indirect employment, which makes things like informatics programs and things for biotech. So it's very diverse. Any questions about that so far? Okay, so here's a little bit more about the Masters of Biotech program. So Masters of Biotechnology has two components. One of them is the hands-on science. So we do have hands-on science. And over here, you could see a student looking at tissue culture. And we just got a new building, which has a lot of modern labs. But we also have business. So we have a cooperate with the School of Business, and they send us instructors, and we basically have the first two classes of the MBA program that you need to take. But you also can take some elective classes in the executive MBA program during your stay here. So you have both things. You can, however, have an emphasis. You do have to take the initial classes, but you can have emphasis on business or science. So let's see about the curriculum. Oh, not quite yet. Here we are. So we are in the middle of Silicon Valley. So that is where the MBT program is. So if you think Silicon Valley around here, so we're right in the middle of things. Why is this a good fit? If you want to work in biotechnology, for one thing, there's a lot of jobs. So there's the highest concentration of biotech jobs worldwide. For the other thing, as we said, it was geography. It's positioned in the middle of Silicon Valley. Then we also have a lot of networking, strong industry relations, and we have a lot of growth. So there's a continuous growth of the program and the biotech companies. All right, so here we come to the curriculum. So we have a 2-year program, 4 semester in the summer. And that's basically what it is. So it's not going to be longer unless there is an emergency and you have to come back. But normally most people just do it in 2 years in the summer. And you can see that we have a series called Biology 202T. So we have A, B, C, and D. So 202TA in the first year, what you're doing is you're learning about the biotech products. And then we try to catch you up on finance, on intellectual property, marketing. So you learn some of the business that you will need to know for later. 202TB tells you a little bit about the drug device development process. So we do invite speakers from throughout the industry in the Silicon Valley. And a lot of them are on our advisory board or longtime friends of the program. We start off with preclinical, we go into research, we go into pharmacology, and then we go into regulatory affairs, and we also have manufacturing and business. So every part will be covered. And then the 202TC is managerial finance. So you're going to continue the finance. And the last one is fundraising. So this is that series. In addition, during the first year, you're going to do Advanced Bioinformatics, which is a 4-unit class, which teaches you a little bit about coding, about mining databases, and other things that it will be of advantage to you. And finally, there's the Management of Innovation in the Biotech Sector. So this is the first business class, and it's not optional. You have to take it. And it is also the first business class for the MBA students. So that's your introductory class. It's an interesting class. It tells a little bit about teamwork, about cases, and how business operates. Then in the second semester, what you're going to do also have is a advanced molecular techniques class. So what we do there, we're going to cover like techniques such as tissue culture. We'll work with viruses, we'll work with purifying proteins, and all the new techniques. We started working a little bit with CRISPR and nanopore sequencing because to be effective in the biotech industry, you do need to have some background on the newest techniques. So we're kind of changing it as the new techniques come up. And then we have operation management. So operations management is the second class for the MBA. And most of the people like this a little better because it's a little bit more like science. But this one is a little bit more on the ethics end. So that's the first year. Any questions about the first year? So we have 3 classes a week, and most of these classes are around 3 hours, and they start at 6. So you can work if you need to. And so during the day, you're mostly free, but you also need to do homework. So you have a lot of homework, and that's the other thing you have there. All right. So during the summer, we have internships, and you're going to apply for these internships. What I will do is I will look over your resume in the first 2 semesters, and we're trying to get your resume all worked out. And then by the end of the second semester, you're ready to work to apply for internships. And normally we'll let you out, we'll go out network and find opportunities. And if we also send opportunities to you so you can interview. So we don't really have the internships for you, but we'll make sure that you get connections and that you'll have a chance to get some. Okay, and the other one we can take an elective in this it's in the summer. It's a project management elective, and so you can use that as an elective for the class. It's also very popular, and it's an online class, so you only have to be there on a Tuesday and on the computer. So you can go anywhere else in the summer. You don't have to worry about it. Okay, then we have in the second year, we have the managerial finance. Also what you do in the summer, you start working on your business plan. So for this program, you don't really have a thesis, you have a business plan. And the business plan, you do work in as a team, and you start coming up with an idea during the summer for a biotech product or anything in biotech. And then you go to work with the entrepreneur in the biotech company management, and he will help you put together a business plan, an oral business plan pitch. And also what you will do is you will enter the Silicon Valley Innovation Challenge, which is like a competition for everybody across San Jose State, as well as outside. And actually it's happening right now. And the good part of there's a lot of the students get accepted. So once they're done with this business plan with the venture class, they get accepted to the business plan competition. And right now we have 4 groups going to the finals. So it's been quite successful in the last years. And also what you're going to do is you're going to take an elective, and you can choose here. You can either have a science elective, and we'll talk about this in a minute, or you can have a business elective. So you can choose a class from the MBA for executives. Then in the very final year, what you're going to do is a class on fundraising. So the entrepreneur will come back and tell you how to raise funds for your company, or for that, what the basic principle is. And again, you can do a science or business elective. And then finally, you have a final colloquium, which will help you to start job searching. So this one, what I do is I normally set up mock interviews. We'll go one more time over your resume, and then we'll talk a little bit about LinkedIn and all the other things. And you also will write down your business plan. Okay, so that is the total program. Any questions about that?
Is the business class is compulsory while taking the biotechnology?
Say that one more time.
While we taking the biotechnology program,
Yes.
a business class is also compulsory, or we can only choose for biotechnology one?
What is compulsory?
As you said, business class, MBA.
Yeah, the business class are compulsory because it's a combination of business and science, right? So you need to take what is compulsory are these 2 business classes, right? So you need to take those 2 business classes, and here you can you don't have to take business, but business classes here is the financial, the managerial finance, the biotech company management, and this another business class here. For the science, you can choose science classes. The other thing you can do is you can find somebody you want to work with in a lab, and you can do a project with them. So we're somewhat flexible, but there is some business in this program. Does that answer your question?
Yes. Thank you.
Okay. Any other questions?
Not for now.
That's okay. Anybody else has a question? All right. So that were the 2 years of the program. Then Back in here, there we go. So here's a little bit of a roadmap to show this to you again. So here's your year 1 fall courses. So 3 courses here. They're all night courses. Then we have the year 2 courses, also 3. Then the intern to summer. And then in the second year, the courses are not, a lot of times not for the whole semester. And they're a little bit more flexible, and you do have electives for the second year. And so after the spring, you'll have your graduation. All right, so here are some of the topics, the biotech seminar topics. So the biotech seminar is Biology 202. And so basically, a lot of it is on the business of biotechnology. So we have the drug device development process. This is Biology 202 TB. We have research and development, which is preclinical. Then we have process product development, clinical development, and eventually go into regulatory affairs. A lot of people like that because there's always new jobs in regulatory affairs due to always being new drugs. Then you find we have some intellectual property in our initial class, manufacturing, business development, quality control and assurance. All of this is part of the biotech industry. People like marketing because it's always something new. And then we have market and company analysis. And finally, the business plan and the company experience. Okay. So these are the biotech seminar topics. Any questions about those? All right. So then we have our science electives. So we have advanced immunological techniques, and that basically focuses on staining, on immunological staining. And we have an interesting guy from Stanford that teaches people how to do that. Then we do have an online class on pharmacology and toxicology, a regulatory affairs class, and we do have some coding classes. Python for biologists is taught by Sammy Curry, who used to be the professor of the computer science department. And as I said, finally, you can have an independent project if you like. You can go talk to some of the professors, and then you can go work for them if they have room for you. Okay, so that's all the science electives. Let's see. And then we have MBA business electives. And here you can see the Silicon Valley Innovation Challenge. We took a picture there. This is Safwan and Amanda, and they came up with a company to test wastewater in third world countries, that makes a kit to taste wastewater in third world countries. So that's kind of when you present your project. So here's some of the other management classes you can take. Project management, as I say, in the summer. We have marketing management, leading edge manager. So there's also operational supply chain that you're taking the first semester. There's some accounting classes, financial management, topics in marketing, and strategic marketing. And they have a lot of other classes in the business school. So if you're interested in business, that is where you can choose. Do one class the second year each semester. Any questions about the topics? Okay. So what's our purpose here with this program? So biotechnology kind of is ruled by the entrepreneurs. And what we really want you to take away is some of the qualities of an entrepreneur. So we don't want you necessarily to be an entrepreneur, because not everybody, wants to lead a company. So some of the qualities there is leadership. So you learn how to lead a project and how to bring ideas together. Also teamwork, and that's also important in the lab. You need to work with other people. Conflict resolution, communication. So you need to learn how to communicate with people from different cultures, with people all around the world, and understand each other. Strategic thinking, business plans, and entrepreneurship. So these are some of the things we're going to work on. Definitely the business plan, and what would you do if you become an entrepreneur? So either you're going to like it or not, but you're going to get some of the ideas what needs to be, what if you need to have when you're an entrepreneur. And here again is our Silicon Valley Innovation Challenge. So here's Vivi and Grace, and they came up with a company that looks at genes for depression. So which genes are there and how you can relate them to what kind of drugs the patient has to take. So that was a very interesting project that got, I think, second place. Then we have another company that with Adrali and company, And they came up with Spec Your Eat, which is a device that you could take to the restaurant to see if you have allergens in food. And finally, there's Colin and Arissa, and they had a database they developed. So there's quite a few projects. So what would be the MBT value to the students or to you? One of the things the students like when they come to MBT program is they're in transition and they want to actually get out of the lab and maybe do more of the business. So they help them with their transition into the biotech business and get more business. Also, they get promotions pretty quickly. Most of them get promoted within a year after they finish the program. They can establish themselves in the area. They can find out what they like to do and establish their expertise. Then there's networking. So we do a lot of networking. We have an advisory board with industry people, and we build up networks, and also development. So students will develop themselves. All right. So here are some alumni, just to give you an idea where everybody is. So here we have quite a few people in the business field. We have the Vidayak, who is a data analyst at Genentech. We have senior management people, implementation coach. We have medical operations manager, Jessica. We have research associates as well. So here are some of the research associates. We have some people in sales and custom production. So there's quite a few areas people go into. And here's some more. So we do have, again, some scientists here, the cell culture associate, research associate Noble. Actually, he went into business now. So we have a few more research associates here because we also work with the skill programs, which is the stem cell internship for laboratory sciences. And so quite a few people like to go into the sciences. And also here's a project management graduate. All right, so we have a few more. We have at least 200 graduates now. All right, so here's the final thing is the application deadline. It's April 1st, 2024. And for all students, you need to apply at Cal State Apply. And so there you go. Then we have official transcripts that you need to, so here's the link, sorry. Official transcripts, you need to take the GRE, statement of purpose, resume, and 2 letters of recommendation. And what you can do is if you have a degree from a foreign university, you should send that to Wes. So you can see it here for international students. You also need to take the TOEFL and have to have a financial declaration and a passport copy. And here's a link for more information. But if you get confused, you can always send me email and I'll be happy to answer any questions. So deadline is April 1st, and I think document deadline is the April 15th. Any questions about that? All right. So once you're all done, here is the graduation. And we normally have a graduation just for the MBT program. And this is San Jose State, but our graduation is at the Rotunda. And you can see here all the graduates in their caps and gowns. And I think they're ready to go on to the industry. All right. So yes.
So what is the minimum requirement for the MBT?
The language?
Language as well as academic also.
Tell me one more time.
What are the minimum requirement for MBT, academic requirement?
For the TOEFL, I think we had, I can't remember. Can you remind me, Albert? Sorry. He's not there. Okay. I think we used to have, I think it says on our website. Let me look it up. I don't want to guess. So it's similar to the minimal requirement of the university. So I will look up at the website. You can send me an email, okay? Any other questions?
Asking the academic requirement, the minimum academic requirement.
Do you know what it is?
Like the bachelor degree, do you have any information about the bachelor degree, that type of thing? Is that the question?
No, I think it was... Sure, go ahead.
For example, percentage requirement, otherwise like or GPA requirement?
Hello?
Hello?
Yeah, the GPA requirement, that is her question.
The GPA requirement?
The grade
So
requirement.
the GPA would be 2.5, but I thought it was the English requirement. For the English language? All right. Okay. What do you think? What did you mean?
Selena, can you repeat your question?
Oh, I got my answer. She said 2.4 is the minimum
2.5.
requirement.
Yeah, so the
2.5.
GPA
Oh, sorry.
requirement is 2.5. For the English language, what you need to have is I can look it up. I don't know exactly, but give me, if you send me an email, I can tell you.
Oh, okay, okay.
Okay?
Okay, okay. Thank you.
Any other questions?
No, I don't have any now.
Okay. Does anybody else have any questions? You can use
Is
it.
there sorry, I do have one more question.
Okay, sure.
Is there any I-20 charge, or it's a free waiver applications?
Okay, now you have to repeat that for me again. I'm sorry.
What about the I-20 charge?
The visa?
Like some university take
Yes.
I-20 charge.
Okay, so basically when you get accepted, we'll tell the university and the university will send you a visa. We'll send you the paperwork to get into the country. Was that your question? Okay, let me see if I can find it in the chat. Oh, the application fee per there is an application fee. The semester fee is, I think, 8,625, and there's 1,500 per summer. Any other questions? Okay. I guess let me see, there's one more question in the chat. I think, well, I think they don't accept the Duolingo anymore. I think it was the question, what if I eat LTS, PTE, or Duolingo? So I don't think they accept Duolingo, but definitely TOEFL and IELTS. So I don't understand that question. I guess Chakrita was asking only with IELTS equipment, there are any programs related to biotechnology. Do you mean at San Jose State? Let me see. I guess I have another question that says if the English test is waived for UK to USA students by considering a master's degree. So normally the English test is the TOEFL is waived if your degree is in the US. I'm not so firm on if it's waived if it's in the UK. So normally if you have the English language, they can waive it, but it's definitely if you have it in the US. let's see, there's one more questions. Okay, the specific requirement for MBT. So basically the requirement that we have is, I mean, we don't have a specific requirement, but we would like for you to have some idea about molecular biology, some idea about working with DNA, and of course, some good writing skills, because we can't really teach you about writing. So we don't really have a requirement for mathematics, but DNA and writing would be good. Any other questions? I think you can have a gap between starting the course. I mean, it doesn't matter how many years, because we have quite a few people who come from a workplace who would like to go back to school and get promoted. And so that's not unusual. I don't really mind how many years. It doesn't really matter. I mean, it would be good if you remember some of the stuff that you learned in school. So if it's getting to be more than 5 or 6 years, then that's going to be a little bit rough, but we can work with it. Let's see. Backlogs. Can you explain to me about backlogs? I don't know what you mean by that one. You mean how many classes will accept in the program? Is that what you mean? So normally you have to apply from scratch with a Master's of Biotech program. So you won't be able to, transfer any classes if it's from a bachelor's degree, if that's what you mean. As long as you get your, I guess the question was, backlogs are the re-examination in undergraduate studies until the graduation. It doesn't matter. I think all I'm looking for is the degree. So if you have your final degree, that's all I really need. Does that answer your question? Okay. Any other questions? Okay. I guess that you could always email me. So in the last slide, there was my email right there, Sabine dot, hold on, get back to it, sabine.rech@sjs.edu. So if you have any leftover questions, feel free to email me, and I'm always answering no matter where I am. So I will make sure to get back to you. Okay. So okay, there was one more question. Oh, the tuition fees are $8,362 per semester and $1,500 per summer. Any other questions? Right. I'm going to stop sharing this. Okay. All righty. So I want to thank you with that for joining this webinar and asking me all kinds of interesting questions. And I hope to see your application at some point. I will see you later. You're welcome.